Greetings, programs. It is I, the OGGM, your humble guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, and general internet nonsense. We've got a couple bits of tabletop role-playing game controversy nonsense we should probably at least take a swing at, though at this point, I'm sort of getting to the I don't care anymore. I'm drinking coffee because it's cold. Support me! Coffee? All right, so the latest bit of controversy nonsense from new TSR 3 in regards to these alleged claims that a alleged person who's associated with an alleged product that TSR 3.5 may or may not have made allegedly might have said some things that allegedly could be considered very, very, very troublesome. And as of yet, I haven't touched that. And I'm sorry, Shadzar, because I know you're probably going to get mad at me for not touching it. I'm not going to touch it because there's no actual facts yet. And let's face it, in the past, I have jumped into the deep end of some of these controversies without getting my facts straight. And it has usually come up and bit me in the ass. So it's really something I have to get better at, because we know I've done it in the past, especially if it involves Critical Role. There, I said it, Critical Role. That should get me some heat. Critical Role. Guaranteed that all you need to do to get heat is say those two words. So because this is alleged, and because all the information is being posted on a site an anonymous site, and there's no actual hard proof, I'm choosing to avoid it. I mean, if it is true, it is very troublesome. But then considering the path of self-destruction TSR3, new TSR, whatever you want to call it, has been following over the past 3 years, I'm kind of not surprised. I really think we should sort of more be focusing on the fact that they're advertising that product and trying to get money for product that doesn't exist. Looking at you, Star Frontiers. Looking at you, Memorial Dungeon. Where are those? So yeah, that story's out there. And I know I'm being kind of a cock tease, by saying I'm not talking about the story, because really I am talking about the story, but it's all alleged, you know? It's circumstantial. So, yeah. We also have another round of people telling us we're playing Dungeons & Dragons wrong. We're not playing it according to Raw. We're not playing it according to what Gygax intended. But then, of course, these people are also saying, well, we're not playing it the way Gygax intended. We're playing rules as written. Except, of course, they're not playing rules as written because they've also added stuff in from Adventures Conqueror King and Beckme or, Basic Fantasy. But apparently, these bro SRs or whatever they are saying, well, this is the way you play Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. This is the only way to play it. This is the right way to play it. You play it rules as written. And if you're not playing it that way, you're not elite. You're a horrible person. Oh, and also don't use modules. That's another one. I mean, you can't, if you're using modules, you're not a good DM. You're a horrible person. It has to all come from your head. It has to all come from Randall tables. You can't use anything that's been printed. It's got to all come from up here. There is so much in those statements that is just mind-bogglingly wrong that we could talk about it for hours. And, and it's kind of like the thing where anything I say is just opinion or based upon what I know about how things work or facts, and my facts are limited at best. So, in the past, I have said, as long as you're having fun, as long as the players at your table are having fun, you're not playing D&D wrong. Except, of course, I was recently told that the point of Dungeons & Dragons is not to have fun. Fun might happen at the table, but that's not the point. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one, because if you're doing something that isn't fun and you're not getting paid for it, and there's no end goal, why do it? Like, I put this chair together yesterday. It was like 2 hours because the instructions were hard to find and read and made no sense. And I still ended up with like a whole bunch of extra screws. There was nothing fun about this, but there was an end goal of having a new chair, because the previous chair got broken to move to Site B. So that's something I would do that's not fun, that I'm not getting paid for, but it has an end goal. Now, if I'm doing something that's not fun, that I'm not getting paid for, and has no tangible end goal, like, why am I doing it? I mean, this isn't fun. Why am I stabbing myself repeatedly with the scissors? What's my end goal? I don't know. Why play D&D, a game? It literally says world's most popular tabletop role-playing game. If the goal is to not have fun, then what is the goal? Because there's no tangible reward for playing Dungeons & Dragons, right? You do understand that this is fake. Nothing that happens to your piece of paper with numbers on it matters, okay? Because those 1,000 gold pieces your character got at the end of the adventure, big deal. They're not real. You can't spend them, and you can't eat them, and you can't keep a roof over your head with an imaginary money that your imaginary character made by going on some imaginary adventures. There is no end goal to D&D. There's no reward other than playing and being around people who enjoy the same thing you do and having fun. So what's the point if you're not playing D&D to have fun? And of course, you're playing it wrong. You're not playing it the way Gygax intended. Well, even Gygax has said repeatedly that he didn't play it the way it was written, and nobody's really playing it the way it was intended. And he was constantly rewriting it because it was never quite right. I mean, one of the most famous quotes I repeatedly use is Gygax said that the stuff he did on Castles and Crusades right before he died was as close to what he had in mind when he first started as anything has got. But you got to remember that after D&D, he did 3 other games, plus worked on other company stuff, always trying to get it right. And from day one, Gygax and the Dave said, these are ideas. Take what you like and toss the other away. It's just, a little experiment that got carried away. I mean, there's no right way to do this. These are just ideas we wrote down to codify some stuff we came up with. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, don't use it. Whatever. And now these guys are like, well, you got to play rules are written. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Nobody even knows what the rules are written are. It's the rules as you interpret them. Because if I read the rules and you read the rules, and this is not conjecture, right? This is fact. We're both going to come away from different perspectives of those rooms. That's fact, okay? Like I've said this before. If you lock me and Aaron the Pedantic in a room, in a clean room, with no outside interference, and give us the exact same thing at the exact same time to read, and the exact same amount of time to read it, at the end of which, if you ask us what it was about, we will give you 2 different answers. That's fact. So rules is written, what does that mean? Now, as far as I know, I was playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons as it was written, but I can't be sure because I was playing it as the way we all interpret it. Perception is different between 2 individuals. Even twins, super identical twins, don't perceive things the same way. That's fact. The way I play D&D now and the way I played D&D in the 80s, completely different because I'm a different person. In fact, the way I play D&D now and the way I played D&D a couple seconds ago when I showed you the stupid chair, completely different. Because This is constantly evolving, constantly changing. And the way this sees the world and takes that information and translates it to this, constantly changing, constantly evolving. You are not the same person you were in the 80s. Fuck, you're not the same person you were 7 years ago, right? Because our body regenerates all our cells over 7 years. So every 7 years, on a genetic level, you're a slightly different person. Support me, coffee. I will sell out. So for the longest time, I have been saying, well, as long as you're having fun, you're not playing it wrong. But I saw all this stuff these guys were posting, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe we are playing it wrong. Maybe the way I play D&D is wrong. Maybe the way you play D&D is wrong. Maybe the way those guys is wrong. Maybe the way Gary is wrong. Maybe the way the 5e people is wrong. Maybe the OSR is wrong. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe we're all playing it wrong. None of us are getting it right because none of us know what the right way to play is. I don't know what it is. Rules is written? Well, that's conjecture. That's not empirical fact. That's just one person's take on something that's written. And much like the law, it can be interpreted in an infinite amount of ways. So, you know what? I am playing it wrong. You're playing it wrong. We're all playing it wrong. Is there a right way to play? I don't know. So here's what I'm going to do. Especially because there's a certain individual out there who repeatedly says oh, I know. You all claim this is what Gygax wanted. You all claim that this is the way we have to play your game. And if we're not playing your game your way, we're playing it wrong. Usually you also throw in a whole bunch of insults and threats with there as well. But let's just break it down to, we don't play your game your way, we're playing it wrong. So, okay, prove it. If your way is the right way to play, go get Gygax and have him tell me your way to play is the right way. Go get Gygax or Arnson or Hargraves or Gygax. Gary Gygax, not Luke and Ernie. Go get Gary Gygax and have him tell me the right way to play. I'll wait. Oh, wait, he's dead. You can't. So unless you're a necromancer, we'll never know, will we, what the way to play this game was as intended. We don't know. Unless you're one of the 5 people there, day 1, hour 1, we don't know because it's constantly evolved. It's constantly changed. D&D is not the same game it was 5 minutes ago. It's water. It constantly changes. And it's different for each individual. So yes, we are all playing it wrong. So you can build your statue to Gygax that's taller than the Empire State Building if you can find the money. Go for it. Go for it. I dare you. Prove that Gygax is more important to American history than Abraham Lincoln. Go ahead. I dare you. You can find Luke Gygax and Ernie Gygax online. You could ask them if they think this is what their dad would want it. I've noticed a certain idiot has never done that. Last time anybody interviewed Luke about this nonsense, he said, even my dad didn't play the game as written. There was tons of stuff he ignored, tons of stuff he changed. He didn't use this, he didn't use that, So, I don't know. Just from now on, yes, you are playing the game wrong. I am playing the game wrong. We're all playing it wrong. So, sure, yeah. And since the point apparently is not having fun, which then I'm not sure what the point is because I'm still waiting for the answer. But yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so once again, fine. I'm playing it wrong. Please. What is the right way to play? Go get Gygax and have him tell me the right way to play. Go get Gary Gygax and have him tell me the right way to play. Until then, I will continue to play the game wrong because for me, that's fun. And I understand the point of D&D is not to have fun. But since I'm playing it wrong, I don't fucking care. I'm having fun. The day I stop having fun is the day I'll stop doing this. As long as it's fun for me and the people across from me, I don't care if I'm playing wrong. So, fine. Yes, I am playing D&D wrong. You win. We are all playing D&D wrong. We are all waiting for someone to tell us the right way to play D&D. It ain't Wizards of the Coast. It ain't TSR 3.5. It ain't Garreby. It ain't Mercer. It ain't Coville. It ain't any of these other idiots. So, please, Gygax, come forward. Crawl out of the ground. Your zombified corpse. Bring it to the podium at Grand Central in front of millions of people and the millions of D&D fans and tell us the right way to play. Until then, I'm going to continue playing it wrong because I'm having fun. And you know what? I'm also having a lot of fun making fun of you fucks. Till next time, I've been the OGGM. I'm sure you don't appreciate this, but I really don't care. I'm looking forward to all the negative comments, the threats, and the thumbs downs. So I'll see you later. Now I'm going to go play some D&D because it's fun.